Welcome to Indie Cove, the show where I talk about indie games that I've played. Today we're taking a dive into Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, to find out if it's a gem, diamond in the rough, or a stinker. Chapter 1. Adrift. So Stray Gods gameplay is that of a choose-your-own-adventure through various dialogue choices. The spin that Stray Gods brings to these choices is that during the musical moments, each choice will alter the style and flow of the song that's being performed.
Got a real life muse in this basement dive. You could use a boost. Should I play a gig? Hey, word of mouth works, Pete. It'll be big.
Get lost, little girl.
I need a room and a writer and a cut of the
You're
bar.
making me angry.
I got needs, you see. Say please, I'll bring keys and a couple guitars.
You don't wanna know how far we could
We
descend.
having fun yet? I'm sorry, what's up? Let me guess how it ends. Like you already said.
Back off, little girl.
We're young, you're old, we live, you
You're
die.
asking for trouble.
The end, see, that's how time works. Bye-bye.
You wanna push me, so look and then see how this ends. How this always ends.
Choir of the dead, that's it? Oh dear. Old dogs, old tricks, ghosts appear. I got a real live choir right here. Wanna hear?
I honestly thought this concept of controlling the flow of the music being performed was really cool, and it's worth multiple playthroughs to try to get all the different songs. Well, that is if they were all very different. Each choice can be boiled down to a color: red, blue, and green. Which, I'll say, not a lot of gaming fans are fond of those colors because of a very specific game. Red is aggressive, blue is intelligence, and green is charisma, and sometimes that feels misleading. You also only get access to one of these three personality traits for about 50% of the game, to only unlock a second one in the second half, really forcing you to feel like you need to replay this game. Outside of the main musical gameplay, this game is just a series of menus to choose from for short interaction, usually meaningless. The world map and navigation felt really unmotivated, and for some reason my controller struggled with it. Stray Gods' design is very interesting and does well at creating characters and spaces that feel memorable, especially Pan or Medusa. Damn, she's fine. I found the choice to have a semi-3D environment with 2D drawn characters to be really interesting and wasn't an unwelcome one, as it evoked a similar feeling when I played The Wolf Among Us, which makes sense as each of these games' worlds are built on the idea of a hidden society. My favorite environment that you go to is actually Pan's apartment because he has a whole ass tree in his apartment. There are pieces, oh you fucker. There are pieces of the design that work really well, but the general menus really suck and break the experience up for me. Chapter 2. The Ritual. As a musical game, that means the sound design and the music need to be on point and be really good, right? So here's the thing, that falls short for different factors. I will say that some of these tracks are really good, but as I said, as a choice-based game where you get to switch up the literal flow and pace of the song, it really throws off the sound continuity and feels really jarring when there's a drastic shift. Now, I will say, there are absolutely moments in the songs where a complete switch up in choice and tone works, but you'd have to know each version of the song. Another glaring issue that I ran into is that for certain songs, the subtitles were just not synced up at all with the dialogue.
So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the miseries.
Further than that, I had several instances where the song or even audio would just cut out completely.
Overstayed your welcome. Time to go home. Get
Playing through this game, I discovered it was usually better to stay on one of the three paths through the entirety, to not have the sound design be greatly disrupted. Although this goes against the freedom of choice and directly contrasts the choose-your-own-adventure gameplay. I also noticed that there are very clear audio design flaws, such as character mixes continuing a little too long, and we just hear some white noise separate from the main track, or even some lip-smacking, looking at you, Persephone. Again, for a game where the sound and musical aspect are its leading qualities, it falls short in my playing experience. Chapter 3. The Trial. Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, is a modernization of Greek mythology, where the Greek gods have barely survived through passing on their eidolons for centuries and stayed hidden in society. The actual story starts with us as Grace, with her best friends trying to get a new band member. The group leaves Grace alone, and she has a chance encounter with Calliope, the muse. Imparting some wisdom, Calliope leaves and Grace goes home, just for Calliope to come knocking and literally bleed out and die in front of Grace. Calliope gives her eidolon to Grace in her final moments, and that's when Hermes appears. Grace is taken to the chorus, the leaders of what remain of the Greek gods, which consist of Apollo, Persephone, Aphrodite, and Athena. This is when Grace is framed for murdering Calliope, and now you need to prove your innocence. As you start your investigation, Pan shows up and kind of teaches you how to use the power of the muses. After being nudged in a direction, you meet with Apollo, who is wallowing in Calliope's busted up apartment. Definitely not suspicious. You then find out that Persephone owned the apartment. Also, definitely not suspicious. After choosing to side with Persephone or Apollo and following several leads, you do get to make some important decisions, like having Astarion, no, not that one, this one, start dating Hecate. Grace is then led to Aphrodite's party. This is when it's revealed that Aphrodite was a prisoner during World War II and horrific atrocities were committed to her. Because of this, she passes her eidolon on to escape the PTSD that comes when she starts to remember what happened to her. So she commits suicide to escape the emotional turmoil and calls it the ritual. During the ritual song, you get to learn that Hephaestus sided with the Americans and made the atom bomb. So Hephaestus is literally Oppenheimer. Aside from this crazy lore, Grace can choose to go against the ritual and convince Aphrodite to live and overcome her fear of the past. Despite this game being a choice-based game, it really doesn't feel like your choices matter very much, as you end up in the same position regardless of the path you chose, and even then, there really aren't any noticeable differences. As you close in on a potential suspect, you end up crossing the Furies, and why do they look like this? Slay? Oh, it's because they do. The first time I played this, I was emotionally racked because of Freddy's death. But there is no way to prevent this death or even have another character be the one to die. Then you are offered to go to the underworld and you meet the best character, Orpheus. Despite this, you find Freddy and have a choice to bring her back to life by passing your eidolon onto her, but she gets mad because you didn't let her die? So my second playthrough, I left her dead, and the game still makes you feel bad. So I feel at this point, the writing really sucked, because it's this weird moment of consent where Freddy's like, you should have left me dead, even though she mentions in the song how she wasn't ready to die. Plus, she's Grace's best friend, or even love interest. In my second playthrough, I romance Persephone, and it's just kind of weird, there aren't many signs, and it's literally at the end of the game where she sings the song where she says she loves you, which is not really any different from Freddy's song. Stray Gods has really good world building, but some of Grace's story just doesn't fit right, especially towards the end of the game. Is it because it's a choose your own adventure game? Maybe. But the fact that you can't prevent Freddy's death or have the scene play out differently is very discouraging, because the only other choice that really feels like it has stakes is Aphrodite's ritual. I want to enjoy this game more, but it just falls short narratively and honestly doesn't really have a lot of worthwhile replayability. Chapter 4, Bonus Track. Alright, so there is a DLC to this game, and honestly, it's a bit better than the main game. It takes place after the events of the main game, so the existence of the gods has been revealed, and the rules are changing. Plus, your choices from the main game can carry over, despite them not really making an impact. You get to play as Orpheus, the GOAT. As I said, he was one of the best parts of the main game, even if he was there for only one song. He has, the power of the muses, but is a mere mortal.
That's why he's the GOAT!
So anyway, the plot. Figure out your new life in the modern era as the Orpheus. So, you wander through the world, attempting to find love, motivation, and purpose. Ultimately, Orpheus attempts these all, and the final decision he makes puts him on the path he will pursue. This DLC felt way more focused, and Orpheus was a bit more relatable, especially during the speed dating segment. I feel like the DLC felt much more like an actual musical, and Orpheus' story of finding oneself was more concrete than Grace's, as I felt the main game lost its plot among all the different ideas. Orpheus' story is straightforward, and the endings actually have a difference. I played it twice and chose to challenge the fates and then to pursue immortal life. Each result in Orpheus disappearing to pursue these goals and live his life. I felt that each of the songs in this DLC were way better crafted, even with the similar flow change up between choices. Also, they removed the menus, and it felt much more like a linear choose your own adventure as you just progressed forward through the story and didn't have these useless diversions to Grace's apartment or Persephone's nightclub. Orpheus' story is honestly a must-play and a redeeming factor of this game. Even though it is only about an hour of gameplay, its narrative, music, and gameplay lean into the strengths of the main game and abandon most of the unnecessary elements of the main game. Plus, Orpheus is drippy as hell in modern day. Stray Gods is a diamond in the rough. Despite bringing a unique concept to the choose-your-own-adventure genre, it falls short due to some flaws. I would love to see more from this world, but feel like a lot has to be improved, especially in the sound department. I felt that as a game marketed as a musical, you can forgive some things, but you cannot slack on your audio design. I recommend giving this game a shot, but not more than once. The developers are passionate people, and I do really want to see how they will continue Stray Gods going forward. I just hope it's with more of a refined model that really feels like my choices have meaning. Also, bring Orpheus back. The king needs more screen time.
Orpheus? Too tired for a song? You must be joking.
Thank you for watching another episode of Indie Cove. If you enjoy my chatter, please leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot. Everyone's support for this series has been extremely motivating, and I'm excited to keep making Indie Cove happen so we can explore the deep ocean of indie games together. I'll catch you all next time.